Buttom! Hi! I'm sorry I'm looking so crazy. I saw that in the supermarket and I thought, oh, it will look so cute if I will put in my hair. But I look really crazy. I look a little stupid. But well, I thought maybe you have something to laugh, so I let it on my hair. So, it's fall, or how I would say, summer, where you left me. You promised me to stay so long forever, and you left me again. But well, so it's autumn, it's fall, I don't know how to say it. It's getting colder, and it means the pumpkin season started. And I will show you today some recipes with pumpkins. And first I will show you a recipe with bread, pumpkin bread, really tasty. Then a soup, a pumpkin soup, and a pumpkin cake. So I hope you will like it, you will enjoy the video. I will link all the recipes down in the info box, and if you like the video and if you like my beautiful hairstyle, then let a thumb up, and if you not have, please subscribe. I looked today on my subscribers and I reached the 50 subscribers and I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much if you subscribed me, that you're supporting me. It means so much for me, and I hope you will enjoy this video too, even if it's not about traveling, but I will show you some wonderful recipes. First we will start with the ingredients of the bread, the pumpkin bread, and of course we will need a pumpkin, some water, then a mixture from flour, I will write it down in the info box, yeast, then pumpkin seeds and salt. More is not necessary for this lovely bread. First I take the pumpkin and cut it in 2 halves and take out the seeds with a spoon, and then I'll make the pumpkin cutting into little cubes. The one thing that's really good on this type of pumpkin is that we don't need to peel it. The peel can stay on, so it's a little bit faster to do it, and I really like the taste. We put the pumpkin into a pot and put some water on, that we can cook it a little so that it gets soft, that we can easier puree it and making a mash from it. It should look like this, and then it's fantastic. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. For the puree you can use a blender or a masher, and then put the puree in a bowl with cold water to get room temperature, and while you're waiting that it's getting cold you can put the dry ingredients in a bowl, and then when the puree is cold you can mix it with the dry ingredients. Add step by step a little bit water, that the dough will get a good consistency and looking at the end like this. If you like, you can add now the pumpkin seeds and let it mix a little, and then the dough is ready. everything in a baking pan and let it rest for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, you put the bread in the oven with about 250 degrees. I had it for about 50 minutes in, and then I opened the top for another 10 minutes to get the top a little bit more crunchy and a little bit more brown. And then the bread is ready. If you're not completely sure if the bread is good or not, do a knocking test, and if it sounds hollow like this, then it's good. If not, put it back in the oven. And now you can enjoy the lovely pumpkin bread. I personally love it with butter or with apricot jam. Now we're coming to the pumpkin soup. Here are all the ingredients. We are beginning with the pumpkins and the tomatoes, then shallots, oil, salt, pepper and sugar, rosemary, coconut oil, water, vegetable broth, and for the end, a little bit creme fraiche, vegan or normal. We are beginning again with cutting the pumpkin in cubes and then cutting the tomatoes and the shallots. Then we put everything together in a baking pan. Put some oil, the rosemary, salt, pepper and sugar on, and then it's going into the oven for about 45 minutes, that it will be nice and soft. When it's finished, we remove the rosemary and put everything in a big pot, and that we can puree it with a blender or a masher. And while we're doing it, we add some water and the coconut milk and the vegetable broth and make a soup out of it. At the end, we let it cook a little and then it's finished. You can add some creme fraiche for it in vegan or normal, or you just let it off because it's tasty. Now I show you the pumpkin cake. It's a vegan cake, only the frosting is not vegan, but I show you how you can change it if you're vegan. You need a pumpkin, water, some flour, a banana, then a self-made pumpkin spice. You can see it in the info box how I made it. Maple syrup, brown sugar and oil, baking soda, and for the frosting you need milk or coconut and almond milk, butter or vegan butter, vanilla and cinnamon, and powdered sugar. So we begin again with cutting the pumpkin and cooking it with some water that it's getting soft, that we can mash it, puree it again with a blender or a masher like you saw it in the both recipes before. Put everything in a bowl and in cold water that it can cool down. And while we're waiting, we can mix the dry ingredients, the flour, the spices and the sugar. Then we take the banana and mash it with a fork. Sorry that you can't see it really well because I don't know what I did with the camera in that moment. But you're mashing it and putting it to the dry ingredients. Now adding the wet ingredients, the oil and the maple syrup and the pumpkin mash, what cooled down, and then everything is going to mix together that we get a very nice dough for the cake. Then we put everything in a baking pan and put it in the oven from 180 degrees for 45 minutes. After we taken it out of the oven, we need to let it cool down. For the frosting, if it's not cooling down, the frosting will melt and it's everywhere, so it's really important that the cake is cold. But while we're waiting, we can make the frosting. We take the powdered sugar and put it in a big bowl together with the spices and the butter and the milk, and then we mix it all together, and then the frosting is finished. It's very easy and very tasty frosting, and if the cake is cold, we only need to put it on and then the cake is finished too, and it's a very, very tasty cake, and it tastes like autumn, and maybe not that much like pumpkin, but I really love the taste. It's very sweet, but I can only eat one piece, but I really love it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's like this, please press thumbs up and subscribe if you not already did. And write in the comments what you want next. And I would love to see if you cooked my videos, my recipes, when you send me on my Instagram. So see you next week. I will show you some Oktoberfest recipes. Bye!